Kenan Yildiz to Arsenal. Martinelli exit could change everything at the Emirates. Hello everyone and welcome back to Black Maggot Media, the heartbeat of the game. A huge thank you to every listener, every subscriber, every Arsenal supporter joining us today, and every viewer, every listener joining us today. I thank you for your continued support. It means a lot to us. So thank you for watching, listening, liking and sharing our football updates. So if you have not liked, listened and shared, please just give us something simple. By the way, most of you watch the videos but almost no like. So just like the video. A like pushes this video to other viewers. A subscription pushes the video to other viewers. Let's develop together. So today we have a fascinating Arsenal story. Gabriel Martinelli getting closer to an exit, and Arsenal are reportedly looking for Juventus star Kenan Yildiz as a possible solution. But there is a major twist. Is Yildiz actually available? Could Martinelli somehow become part of the deal? And what are Arsenal's alternative plans if Juventus refuse to sell Yildiz? Let's get into the story. Arsenal's new target, Kenan Yildiz. Arsenal's interest in Kenan Yildiz has become one of the most intriguing transfer stories of the final stages of the window. We clearly know that the window is coming to an end. It is ending around 1st September, and according to ESPN, transfer reports say that Arsenal are looking into a possibility of signing the Juventus forward, with Yildiz identified as a potential target following the pursuit of other attacking options. The Turkish international is exactly the type of player that Arteta could be looking for. He is young, technically gifted, versatile and capable of playing from the left side or operating more centrally. So this guy gives you versatility. He can operate in the left side of the wing, he can operate in the middle, and he can also operate at the right side of the wing. And what makes him particularly interesting, if Arsenal complete the departure of Gabriel Martinelli, why should Arsenal go for him if Al Hilal succeeds to sign Gabriel Martinelli? There have been reports of possibility of Martinelli for Kenan Yildiz swap concept, although it is important to stress that this is a speculation rather than a confirmed negotiation or agreement. The Guardian reported that the possibility of Arsenal exploring such an agreement could be there. So Arsenal clearly admire the player, but the admirations is just one thing. Getting Juventus to sell their number 10 is another matter entirely. So we have reports that Juventus are not open to sell their player. But why is Arsenal insisting? Juventus does not sell this player. Arsenal is looking for a way of signing this player. They're even convincing Juventus that let's at least make a swap deal for Martinelli with cash for Kenan Yildiz. It could be a good deal because there will be a player to fill in that position. And being that the league Juventus is playing in is not of such quality as that of English Premier League, I'm sure Gabriel Martinelli could shine. But there is also a question. Do you think Martinelli can just accept and go? Remember when Galatasaray came in with a bid of £45 million, Martinelli turned down the possibility of going to Galatasaray. He refused. He said he is happy to stay in Arsenal. Let's play this clip. So you have seen how happy he is to stay in Arsenal. So Juventus' position a major problem for Arsenal. This is where Arsenal's plan becomes complicated. Recent reports indicate that Juventus do not want to sell Yildiz, but Football 365, citing Fabrizio Romano, reported that Arsenal love Yildiz, but Juventus are not planning to let him leave this summer. And Juventus's head coach, Luciano Spalletti, has already played down the possibility of Kenan Yildiz leaving. There have been reports that Arsenal would potentially make an enormous offer figure above £85 million, which is equivalent to about 100 million euros. Have been discussing the speculations, but even a huge bid may not automatically convince Juventus. Yildiz is viewed as one of the club's most important young players, and Juventus have given him the iconic number 10 shirt. So that tells you how highly he is regarded. The game of Juventus is built around this player. It's built around Kenan Yildiz. He's loved, young, talented. So therefore, Arsenal's challenge is not simply to convince Juventus financially. They may have to convince the Italian club that losing Yildiz is worth money. They will table in money to convince Juventus. So and at the moment that looks extremely difficult. The catalyst of this story is the departure of Martinelli. Now let's bring Martinelli back to the story. The Brazilian's Arsenal future has become increasingly uncertain. Al Hilal have made a serious move for him, with the reports today stating that negotiations are advanced around an offer of about 47 million pounds plus 4 million pounds in add-on. That's around 60 million euros. So Martinelli is reportedly open to Saudi move, although personal terms have not yet been finalized. So if the transfer is completed, Arsenal will suddenly have a significant vacancy of a left side of their attacker, and that is where Yildiz comes in. Arsenal have reportedly strengthened their attacking options with Christos Zolis, but the club could still want another elite attacking player if Martinelli leaves. And the important point is that Arsenal don't necessarily have to replace Martinelli with a player who has exactly the same profile. They could instead bring in someone capable of playing several positions. Yildiz fits the description perfectly, and he can provide creativity, ball carrying, combination play, and attacking versatility. So for Mikel Arteta, that versatility could be extremely valuable. Could Martinelli be used as a swap? Now, this is where the speculations get really interesting. Could Arsenal use Martinelli as part of the deal for Kenan Yildiz? There have been reports and speculations about a possible swap arrangement, with Arsenal potentially using the Brazilian as part of the offer for Juventus forward. On paper, it sounds fascinating. Arsenal need an attacker as a new option if Martinelli leaves. Juventus want to protect Yildiz, but could potentially receive an established Brazilian international in return. However, we need to be very clear. There is currently no confirmed Martinelli for Yildiz swap deal. It remains a reported possibility and should not be presented as a deal done. And Juventus' current stance makes the situation even more difficult. If Juventus are determined to keep Kenan Yildiz, Arsenal may have to look elsewhere. What is Arsenal's plan B if Juventus fail to sell the player? if they become adamant that they are not selling their player, and at the moment we are receiving news that Kenan Yildiz is injured, meaning he may not pass the medicals even though Arsenal signs him. So Arsenal already have another option, that is Christos Zolis, who arrived from Club Brugge this summer, and reports have suggested that Arsenal could continue exploring attacking targets rather than playing everything on Yildiz. The club's priority appears to be maintaining quality of the depth, and there is another possibility. Arsenal could simply decide that they have already enough attacking options and use Martinelli transfer fee to strengthen attacking another area of the squad, and that could be a very different strategy. Instead of immediately replacing Martinelli with expensive winger, Arsenal could trust Christos Zolis, Bukayo Saka, and their other attacking options while investing elsewhere. But if Arteta wants another elite attacker, Yildiz remains one of the most exciting names being discussed. Not forgetting Bradley Barcola. Go and hijack that deal. Let Arsenal hijack that deal from Liverpool. Why to watch your opponents strengthening themselves and you're just there? You're insisting on a player who is not whom the team says that is not on sale. Why? Go in for Barcola, however much is expensive. Arsenal were ready to invest the money for Vinicius Jr. We received those reports. Why not Barcola? Try, table a bid. You may buy him cheaply. Of course, PSG want about 145 million pounds, but put in like 117 and negotiate. Bata is good at negotiating. So let's wait and see. Where does the deal stand? So Arsenal fans, let's make the situation crystal clear. Arsenal are interested in Kenan Yildiz. There is no complete deal. So the story could become interesting. We are in the latest days of the transfer window. Martinelli could leave Arsenal for Al Hilal, while Arsenal are looking at Kenan Yildiz as a potential replacement. But Juventus are standing firmly in Arsenal's way. Could Arsenal surprise everyone with a huge late bid? Could Martinelli somehow become part of the negotiations? Or will Kenan Yildiz remain at Juventus and Arsenal turn their attention elsewhere? Where will this come to end? So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for viewing to Black Maggot Media, the heartbeat of the game. If you enjoyed today's transfer update, please subscribe, like, share, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you once again for your incredible support. Until next time, stay informed, stay passionate, and keep following the heartbeat of the game. I salute you.